The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel. Our passion transforms a community that sees and shares all things new. My name is Dr. Michelle Mras, streaming live from Colorado Springs, Colorado, USA. You're watching Mental Shift on TNC. Welcome to Mental Shift. My name is Michelle, Dr. Michelle Mras now. This is season 7. Whew, can you believe it? It's been a while. Anyways, today I have 1, a whole new setup, 2, an excellent guest. Now, what's so special about my guest today is her name is Kaye Podschweit, but that is not just the thing. Kaye, call her MK, is the artist that drew the cover of my book, Unapologetic. And she is also the person who drew, she gave me a birthday present. We'll talk about that later. So welcome to Kaye, MK. She is an artist, and you call yourself a disabled artist, but I say you are not disabled, you are abled. Right, you are so abled.
Oh, thank you.
And tonight we're going to talk about her story because MK, she and I have very similar brain injuries. I'm further down the line on that path of recovery, but she has become very gifted in something she didn't have a gift in before. And so, Kaye, we call it mental shift for a reason. And I know you had a mental shift, and we'll share that with the audience tonight. What did you do before? And what happened to you? Because I love that story. And what was your mental shift?
Well, I used to math for a living and coach. I used to yell at little kids for volleyball. So I love yelling at people. I used to love yelling at people, but math was my passion. And I don't understand numbers anymore. And I certainly can't yell at people anymore either.
So soft.
Yeah. So all that has changed.
So what happened?
I was walking one morning, thinking about my game plan for volleyball practice. I was not watching where I was walking, and I slipped on goose poop.
Literal goose poop.
Literally goose poop, yes. Yes, and it caused a high sprain, which eventually caused a blood clot, which broke loose and went to my lungs, which then caused a pulmonary embolism. And because of the pulmonary embolism, I died 3 times. So I went into cardiac arrest. And the longest was for 13 minutes without oxygen. So then it went to anoxic brain injury. That's how everything changed.
In an instant.
In an instant.
And you're actually approaching your anniversary of that.
10 years, yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's come a long way, baby. And when she first told me she slipped on goose poop, I went, yeah, right. No, she really did slip. And so that's why, one, we became very good friends because of this. We both learned a very important lesson. And both of our spouses, our husbands and our families watched us struggle and lose our ability to speak and function and be hooked up to machines. And we have a lot in common. And Mary Kaye, you knew numbers. You were out for a while. You died a couple of times. And when you came back, what brought you into the world of art?
My doctor told my family that they were going to put me in art therapy. And I was so mad because I wasn't able to communicate. And I was like, I couldn't even hold a pencil, let alone a pen or a paintbrush. Never had any interest in art at all. Wasn't even on my radar. I saw art, I was like, oh, that's nice, and walked away. I'd never considered art before. And my art therapy teacher was so strict. Her name was Donna. She was a pistol, that one. She had so many rules. She used to be an architect, and she had to go through art therapy herself because she had a stroke. Very similar. Very similar
Experience.
Yes, thank you. I can see words, but I have a hard time with articulation.
It's like you have to pull it out of the sky.
So thank you for that. Yes. But she was the best thing for me at that time, just because she wouldn't give anyone any room for failure. And one time in her class, I said, I can't do that. And she made everyone stop, and she goes, what'd you just say? I said, I can't. She goes, well, if you can't, then someone else can. So you can either try. That's why I'm asking, is that you try or you get up and you leave, because there's 10 other people who want this seat. And I just sat there and cried.
Wow.
The rest of the class. And then I told Matt, she's mean. He goes, that's probably the best thing for you, right?
Tough love. You
right?
needed it.
Yeah. But she was so amazing for me, So yes, art therapy.
Art therapy.
Yeah.
And sometimes tough love is what we need.
Yeah.
And honestly, you moving and doing everything you are doing is because you were probably pretty darn stubborn before, right?
Oh, I'm sure I was.
I'm sure you were too.
Who knows? I'm sure I was.
What you used to do, and you used to like screaming at people in volleyball. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure you're a pretty tough cookie already.
I used to love yelling at kids. That was my gift, yelling at kids. So give me a 12-year-old, I'll make him cry.
Really? He's so sweet, really. She is.
I'm just teasing.
Well, she has several books about her journey, and we'll show those after the break. And but I wanted to get more into her story of her art, because you started off where you couldn't even hold a pencil, and you started doing sketch art, and then you got into oils.
Yeah.
And then that's where you started seeing more.
I love taking a blank canvas and making it my own. Didn't matter how messy it was mine. And that was how I was able to express myself, was through art. So if I'm having a hard time communicating, it was black, and the background had to be black. When I saw love, I would just yellows and oranges and reds and blues. And so sometimes that's combined, because I think everyone has a side of them that is hurting. Me, that's the color black or smoky gray. And the thing with my brain injury, when I was sent back here, I was walking in the garden with Jesus, and it was just full of color. It was so beautiful. And since that moment, that's all I see. I see colors around people, and I just see color.
Mm-hmm.
So you, Michelle, you have beautiful orange, but you're bursting with yellows and pinks and oranges. Like you're always just
Even with the black?
Even with the black, there's, but always very inviting. colors.
I would
So-
love to see through your eyes.
But that's how I paint as well. People always ask me to paint them something, but what I see and what I feel is different than what they see and feel.
Yeah, you feel, she sees the energy, she sees what's radiating truly out of us. And she gave me a birthday present, and I want to share this with you. And I don't know if you can see it with the cellophane. I'm gonna tilt it. Can you see it? It's an elephant. And what did you call it?
It's unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
She's unstoppable, this one.
Isn't it beautiful? And I saw her post it on Facebook. I'm like, oh, I love the elephant. And then I saw her say that it was out of print and she was done. She didn't have any more. She had one more.
I had
and
the
it
one
was
set
for
aside
me.
for you yesterday to celebrate your birthday.
Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome.
But I love Mary Kaye's art, and I wanted her on the show for many, many reasons. One, she's an inspiration for me, and I know she's an inspiration for all of you right now. And two, she and I have come so far from who we were through our brain injuries to find a whole different version of ourselves that we didn't even know. Her power came back in light, love, colors, and art. Mine came back in speaking and singing. My voice came out. Your art came out. And I just find it very beautiful how we could have curled up in a ball and said, no, I'm done. I died. I saw Jesus and I'm not coming back. Or we can come out full color blast like we both did. And we're both finding our footing in this world, just like you can every day. Just find something that you can love or be excited about and go for it, right?
Find your new beginning. Everyone has an opportunity to start over. You don't have to have a drastic, life-changing moment. You can have today. Just find your new beginning.
Or as I love you, what you always said is you say, God didn't send me back for I can't.
Yeah.
God didn't leave you here for I can't. So think about that, because Mary Kaye always says that to me, around me. I've always seen her say that. And it's like, really, what can you do? Well, like I like to say, be like water. Find your own way, over, around, or through. But you don't have to sit there and do, I can't because I've never seen it happen. Then make it happen your way. Mary Kaye found her way. And one of the other ways she's found is to learn how to use her body again. You're a big advocate for something here in town.
I am very much so. They have given me a great opportunity to try.
And what is it called?
It's called Orange Theory Fitness. Orange Theory Fitness, and life-changing. You walk in and it's intimidating because you're around these amazing athletes.
Mm-hmm.
People run the Boston Marathon. People in our armed services. Amazing athletes. And then there's me with a disability. But I try just as hard, and they always have alternatives so I can participate. But the celebration, I got up off the floor without assistance the other day. It's been 10 years. And the celebration in the class, like everyone stopped what they're doing and just clapped.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's so normal for everyone else.
Well, and they even let her doggy in.
Big head tap, my service dog. Yes, he comes with me.
And I came out to visit her at Orange Theory once, and my brain injury wouldn't allow me in the room.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I got dizzy and I couldn't see straight. But I'm very sensitive to sound, and so the sound I couldn't handle. But I found my other way too. I found my own way. I have headsets. They gave me earbuds and they gave me a headset to sit in there, but I couldn't get in there. But I found my own way too to move our bodies. And what Mary Kaye and I both have found is moving our bodies to get it healthy helps our brain. Yeah. And to find that gift that gives us an outlet to express ourselves helps our brain. We may have brain injuries, but you all have a way to help fix yourself in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Now, what was the other thing I was going to do? Oh, remember the lion I told you she painted? And it's now the cover of my book. Let's see if I can pick it up without dropping it. You see all the pretty colors on it? That's how she sees me.
Oh, well, I was inspired by your book, Hold My Crown.
Which is the other book behind you.
Yeah, that was my favorite book I've ever read.
This one.
If you've never read Hold My Crown, I highly recommend it to give yourself a perspective on the people's journeys.
Thank you. I mean, and honestly, you were one of the first people to tell me that the book had so much impact on you. And I mean, I've had people say, oh, that was a really good book. But you were the first one who said, this made such a big difference in my life. And I was stuck drawing this lioness and I didn't know what was missing.
Yeah, it was a crown.
It was a crown.
Yeah.
And so now we're really, really bonded that way. Now, I want to get to her books and things like that. So when we come back from our break, I want you to realize, and you'll see her books and her story right after this break. So thank you for watching Mental Shift. So did you share the show with someone you care about, maybe a family friend or family member? Do you know that TNC is a live stream platform of online shows for people on the go? Please watch all of our shows as you can see on the screen right now. Imagine having your own show, your own playlist, your own content, but we'll make it easier for you. TNC aims to transform the lives of our viewers through engaging, authentic, and original content. Our vision is to become a global 24/7 live stream channel that showcases Filipino talent, global influencers, cultural intelligence, and ingenuity. Continue to watch Mental Shift Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here in the US and Wednesday mornings at 9:30 a.m. in the Philippines, or in Asia, actually. You can also watch all the replays via Facebook or YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just search the hashtag TNC Now. If you'd like to be a sponsor for one of our shows, particularly Mental Shift, please email NOW, so now at thenewchannel.com, or send a direct message to The New Channel. Enjoy these life-changing shows because we made them just for you. Now, welcome back. I am Dr. Michelle Mras, and you're still watching Mental Shift. Be sure to check out my page on Facebook or YouTube by searching the TNC Now hashtag, and enjoy these inspiring shows because we did make them for you. We have to pause. That's how she sees me.
Well, I was inspired by your book, Hold My Crown.
And I was stuck drawing this lioness and I didn't know what was missing.
Yeah, it was a crown.
It was a crown.
Yeah.
And so now we're really, really bonded that way. Now, I want to get to her books and things like that. So when we come back from our break, I want you to realize, and we'll see her books and her story right after this break. So thank you for watching Mental Shift. So did you share the show with someone you care about, maybe a family friend or family member? Do you know that TNC is a live stream platform of online shows for people on the go? Please watch all of our shows as you can see on the screen right now. Imagine having your own show, your own playlist, your own content, but we'll make it easier for you. TNC aims to transform the lives of our viewers through engaging, authentic, and original content. Our vision is to become a global 24/7 live stream channel that showcases Filipino talent, global influencers, cultural intelligence, and ingenuity. Continue to watch Mental Shift Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here in the U.S. and Wednesday mornings at 9:30 a.m. in the Philippines, or in Asia, actually. You can also watch all the replays via Facebook or YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just search the hashtag TNC Now. If you'd like to be a sponsor for one of our shows, particularly Mental Shift, please email NOW, so now at thenewchannel.com, or send a direct message to the new channel. Enjoy these life-changing shows because we made them just for you. Now, welcome back. I am Dr. Michelle Mras, and you're still watching Mental Shift. Be sure to check out my page on Facebook or YouTube by searching the TNC Now hashtag, and enjoy these inspiring shows because we did make them for you. Welcome back to Mental Shift, and tonight my guest is MK Podschweit, and she is an artist of the nth degree. And I wanted to make sure that you saw her book because she does have her book out and her story with her husband, Matt, about what happened. And then we're going to show you the cover of the book so you can go out and find it. But more importantly, she's going to share with us her story, because if you listened at the beginning, she said that she died and she was walking through a garden with Jesus. So if we can show her book right now, Broken Hallelujah. Now, MK, Broken Hallelujah, that cover is very special. Why is that?
Well, we talked about Donna, my art teacher. Well, she moved away, and I was so lost without her. And Matt said, honey, just go back and draw circles and see what happens. And Matt's always hugging me. We hug for 30 seconds every morning. Just the body contact is so important. And I drew the cover of that book of Matt holding me. So that's Broken Hallelujah. 40 days in the wilderness was how long I was in the hospital, for 40 days. But in that process, my story is so different than my family's. They had it much worse than me because I died, you know.
You were with Jesus.
I was, right. I did not want to go back. But the story I want to share is Matt believes it was the third time I coded. And that was for 13 minutes. I remember watching the doctor on top of me.
Wow.
And seeing tubes in and out of my body. But I felt at peace. I saw the hecticness in the room, and I felt the stress, but I was at peace. And watching it all happen, then a bright light appears from the corner of the room. I didn't see a face or the color of his skin, but next thing I know, his arms are opening up and he's holding me and kisses me on my forehead and tells me I have to go back. My job is not done. Right away, I thought, did I leave an account open? What numbers did I forget to do? Like my mind was math. And I said, I don't want to go back. I want to be with you. In my heart, I knew it was Jesus, but it didn't come out and go, hi, I'm Jesus. that never happened, but I knew it was him.
I want to stay.
I want to stay with you, right? I did not think about Matt or our daughters or people I love or who love me. I just knew I wanted to be with him. Then my dad pops up and yells at me to get the hell back there now. It's like, Dad, can you use that word in front of God? And all of a sudden I felt chuckles, like laughing. And then I woke up 3 weeks later in ICU to my husband, Matt, singing the song he sung 100 times before to me. They removed the intubation tube. They knew there would be a significant brain damage. At that point, they told my family that I was brain dead and that my eyes were blown out, indicative of brain death. So, but there's always that chance of hope. So when Matt started singing to me, I was responding and he's sobbing over me and I was able to finish our song. And then we knew it would have a road, but that gave everyone hope. That night in ICU, when everyone was gone, I was laying in bed and I was confused because I felt very rejected by God. Why did he send me back? Next thing I know, I'm walking in the garden with Jesus and the colors, and I saw shadows. I saw outlines of people I love. And I even saw our family dog, Josie, and so it was just such a warm, beautiful, peaceful experience. And God said to me at that moment, I get to decide. I can either go with him or I can be the wife to Matt, the mother to our daughters, and a grandma. I wasn't a grandma yet.
No, you weren't.
Yeah. And so I told him I wanted to stay. He goes, you have a job to do. I did not understand what that meant. I still don't understand what that job is because every day I get to try and every day I fail. But every day I get up and go, okay, that didn't work out. Let me try it this way.
So that's not a failure in my eyes.
But I hope that someone is able to take our story and give them hope with their family or loved one. So, yeah.
And therefore, your job is not done.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, God is so important in this story. Without him, I would be one of those vapor people. I don't know how to, because I didn't see the person, but I knew who he was. Like my dad, he had been gone for 23 years at that point. But I still remember his voice and him yelling at me to get the hell back there down. And but God has a sense of humor as well.
Well, and just think of the art that you're bringing back to. You're bringing color to the world. You're bringing love back to the world. And you're a grandma, and just the things that you have not done that you've been sent back for. And that's what's so exciting for me to know MK, is to know that so much is coming out of her, and this art that is just pouring out of her like this. I wish I could do this, and to know, I can't wait to see what's happening. And as she's on the show right now sharing her story, how many of you are right now shifting your mindset on what you're doing with your life? This is part of your story. This is part of your mission, to share that just because everything seems to have crumbled away doesn't mean something new can come out of it, something beautiful. I mean, you went from numbers that you thought were beautiful to colors which you were like, wow, this is even more beautiful. And then you're bringing the colors of that garden that you walked through to us.
Yeah. Wow. I never thought of it that way, Michelle.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why I paint in color. It was because of the garden. It was just so vibrant and beautiful.
And think of our world today. It's all black and white, and it's dark, and it's scary. And people need to know that there is love and light. You paint love and light.
Mm.
Thank you.
Well, I never thought of it that way. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a process. I was in a wheelchair, then a walker for 2 years. My brain would always reset. And if it weren't for art therapy, I don't know. I'd probably sit in a nursing home with drilled on my face. I don't know. But learning how to speak again is by far the hardest part. I wasn't able to even say cat for years until my husband Matt sat down at the piano and said, "Honey, today we're gonna learn how to speak." I was in speech therapy for, at this point, almost 3 years, and he goes, "So you start playing what Cat in the Hat would sound like on the piano," and that was my first book I read, was Cat and the Hat.
Cat.
Now he taught me how to speak it again. Now he can't get me to shut up.
My husband did the same thing. I didn't speak for 2 years, and he's like, I don't know about that.
Well, you have a lovely voice. I'm glad you have your voice.
Well, and that was the thing with mine. When I couldn't speak, I could sing little snippets. And so that's why I did that. I'm doing the whole album thing, is because God gave me the ability to sing when I couldn't speak. And my husband and I were talking, and he's like, "Well, you know, you sang before you spoke." And I said, "I did?" And he's like, "Yeah, you sang first, and then you started speaking, and incoherently speaking. I could sing clearly, but incoherently speak." And so we're like, maybe that was a message. I'm supposed to sing. Like, oh, okay. So that's why we went that avenue.
I love that.
Yeah. So God does work in very mysterious ways, and
Yeah.
he does have a really big sense of humor.
Yes,
And
he does.
and he doesn't say it's going to be really easy when you come back. And you know that.
Yeah.
You know that. There's a lot of setbacks. And like tonight, MK saw me. I'm normally very put together, but late at night, and when I'm tired, my brain starts to vibrate, and I can't. It's really hard for me to focus. And MK saw that in me tonight. And Brian behind the camera over here saw that in me tonight. I get rattled. And thank you for helping me calm down.
Well, Brian's going to take us all home, right? Is that what's going to
Yes,
happen?
he's going to drive us all home to keep us all safe.
Yeah.
But Broken Hallelujah. And if you want to connect with MK, you can find her on social media. And on social media, you are at Mary Kaye Podschweit, right?
I think so.
I think so. It might be MK. We'll put it in the chat for all of that. But just understand that, like with MK, no matter how dark it is, no matter where you are, realize that when you're not alone, too, even in the darkest of the dark, she was not alone. Although she didn't see the face of Jesus with her, she could feel the presence. How often are you in the dark? How often are you afraid? How often do you think you're alone? If you believe in a higher calling, in a higher being, whatever you call it, you're not alone. And we are both testimonies to, no matter how alone you are, you aren't. Yeah. And maybe that's what our message, our combined message is. We're both proof that, in my case, I didn't believe. I was running. I did not believe that there was a God. I thought I thought he hated me. I thought he was punishing me. And if he did exist, he didn't like me. And then the next thing I knew, I heard, "You're not dead yet. Get up." And so I'm like, oh, okay. What I didn't believe, I do now believe. So, Mary Kaye, is there anything you'd like to leave the audience with? Something that you'd like to share with them?
Yes. God did not send you here for "I can't." It's not in your vocabulary. Stop believing that you can't do something. Get up and try. It's going to be hard. You might be overeating. You can stop overeating. It might not be trying to exercise. Get out and walk. reading, singing, talking to that person who has hurt you, getting closure. You can do it because you're here. No more, I can't. God did not send you here for, I can't. You got it.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. We believe in you.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to follow Mary Kaye, MK, we will have her information on the bottom because she is always producing more and more artwork.
And there's
And
only limited, I only do limited print. So
she does limited prints. So like this one's gone. You can't get the elephant anymore. So if you track on her and find her on social media, she'll do her next art piece and she'll say, she shows us in progress sometimes too. And then that way you can catch on what she does and how you can find her and find her art and find her book, right?
Exactly. And I want to share that in every piece of art, there's a hidden symbol of what I was feeling that day. In the Elephant Unstoppable is the word faith. And you have to find it. So, but that's my I Spy game I play.
I love it.
Yeah. But every in an unapologetic book, the Lioness of the Crown, there's something in there too. That's beautiful.
Oh, now I'm like completely fixed on this picture until I find it.
Oh.
But I won't tell you when I find it so that you can go find it too. So thank you so much for joining us on Mental Shift tonight. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And if you'd like more inspiration, you've now found Mental Shift. You can go watch the past episodes, but season 7, she's #1 episode in season 7. And keep watching us on Mental Shift. You'll see us every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time in the United States, 9:30 a.m. in the Philippines and in Asia on Wednesday morning. So I'll catch you next time. And until then, go be the best version of you and stay unapologetic. You are not here for I can't.
I love that. Exactly. Okay.
So have a great week, everybody. Until next time, we'll see you. My name is Dr. Michelle Mras, and this is Mary Kaye Podschweit, and we'll see you again next week.